Hello, and we are live. This is Sybil Harmony in California, and we're doing a video on prosperity. I'm a teacher, a healer, a psychic medium, and we're waiting for people to come in. So we have been working on looking at prosperity, which this week I'm going to call lack of scarcity, because there's a lot of talk in this country now and in the world that, oh, there isn't enough, that it's somehow other people are taking what's yours and we need to get rid of those other people or get them out of the country, or that there isn't enough for programs that people paid into. So there's a lot of political disinformation that has been here to scare people and make a belief in scarcity, to turn us against each other, when that is absolutely not the truth. Because where did all the money go? Where is it? Did it float away? Did it go to another planet? Is it hiding somewhere? No, there are certain groups of people, small amounts of people, that are hoarding all the money and creating the rest of us to be in fear about money. Oh, that there isn't enough, and we need to scale back on. We can't help the needy or children or elder. We can't. In the richest country in the world, in all of history, they actually believe that people are gullible enough to believe this, and we have been in this world programmed. There are some beautiful religious teachings from the masters, or the guides, that, that's a better word to use maybe, that came here and brought us beautiful messages of love and charity and healing and how to create and how to manifest. So that is true, but that has been distorted by certain groups of humans, or whatever they're channeling, we'll put it that way, that wish to instill fear and the belief in scarcity and lack in the populations. Why would they do that? So they can be in control. The control is the name of the game. So our job is to push back in the physical world, because we live in a physical world, and to say, no, we're not going to vote for you, or we're going to protest this, or we're going to speak out about this. So that's our job. Yes, we need to act as if the physical world is real, because we live in the physical 3D world. We have human bodies. We need food. We need to sleep. We need to pay the rent or the mortgage. So that's all true. But we also need to understand that a lot of the scarcity and the fear that's being pumped out over the airwaves, that has been propagated for, going back, if you watched my video, The End of the Oligarchs, I went into some of the history on this planet about scarcity and control and groups of lower beings, if you want to get really out there, that want to control our world. And so here we are again. And so, like, instead of sharing the land with the Native Americans, like they did, I guess, in the natives in Australia and different countries, they knew, like the natives knew, most tribes, now they did war between each other, but mostly, basically, they knew that it was in their higher interest, their best interest, to work with the settlers, to welcome them or to trade with them, that they could, there was enough for everyone and everyone could prosper. And then you had this kind of fear-based or religious distortion coming in and saying that, oh, they're savages, we need to take their land. So wars, plagues, religious control, and now we have propaganda, can all affect our prosperity. But it doesn't have to. One would just be being aware of all the misinformation and fear-based that's out there. And it's hard. It can feel like, okay, if I don't know if I'm going to have my Social Security, I don't know where the groceries are coming from, How am I supposed to be happy and feeling good and prospering? Okay, so that is legitimate and that is a way of thinking. But we also want to understand that, like we talked about last week, that money is simply energy. Everything is vibrating in energy. You are energy. Food has energy. A house has energy. Actually, money is vibrating in energy. It's neither bad nor good. And if we look at it like that, what the ancients taught us is that we can attract it to us. We can have a better relationship with prosperity. One way is to have a good relationship with the earth, whether you're gardening or you're going out in nature, because nature will naturally heal us, calm us. And actually, that might be kind of fun to do today, to do a little nature spirit manifesting, because then the ancients knew, some of the healers and the shamans knew, that the nature spirits were here to help us if they thought that we were worthy of it, if we asked. And so there are old, fairy tales and such, about, scary fairies, or even the Native Americans. I think they had, I won't mention the name because you're not supposed to mention the name, of negative spirits. Excuse me, I'm still healing myself. So the negative spirits that could come in and mess with you, okay? But most nature spirits are here to help us. And unlike angels or the higher beings from higher realms that just give to us unconditionally and don't expect anything back, nature spirits like offerings. So we can do that. That'll be a fun little thing to do today. I used to teach this in my classes, and it's fun, and it's a way of giving back. So the indigenous peoples have known about this. Like I talked about, shamans and medicine people, and throughout the ages have known about the connection with nature and prosperity. And if you feel like, well, I don't really have a connection with that, well, you can form a connection. Do you like flowers? Do you like trees? Do you like fresh air and clean water? So there are nature's water spirits, there's tree spirits, there's flower spirits. A lot of the food that you're eating is everything, not a lot, everything is from nature, is either grown in nature or it ate plants or other animals. So animals are part of nature. They're part of the natural flow of, and whenever I see cows, I know, okay, prosperity is coming. Now, you don't have to be a vegetarian because animals eat other animals, but they don't do it out of cruelty or vengeance or to harm another. They do it because they're hungry. Okay, so that's a whole different energy. You could even say that killing a plant is killing a spirit, because everything is alive. Trees, flowers are highly evolved fairies around flowers. I used to see them when I was a kid. I used to see the nature spirits, and I would talk with them. It looked kind of like Disneyland, like that movie Fantasia. But the elementals, the nature spirits, the fairies, the leprechauns. In Ireland, they know about the leprechauns. It used to be in America even 10 or 20 years ago. If you talk about this, people would go like, that's like, don't let anybody know I'm talking about this. But in cultures throughout time have known, or so-called witches or warlocks or sages, or like I said, shamans, have known to connect with the nature spirits, to connect with crystals. The crystals I recently have been healing a toothache, and I've been using amber. You can buy an amber necklace for babies when they're teething online, and I'll tell you, it really works. So crystals have a spirit, animals have a spirit, all of nature has a spirit. They're water sprites. They used to be, some people believe they used to be here in physical form, and there was a war and they lost, and they were told that they could go into etheric form or they would all be killed. And they choose to go into etheric form. So they're not really here physically solid anymore, but I see them in my mind's eye, or kind of translucent. They're kind of see-through when I see them. And if you know how to do medicine cards, you can get, this is a medicine card deck. And there's some other books. There's a book by Stephen Farmer who has, if you see a bird or an animal, everything is bringing you a message. So if you have a question about, should I sell my house? Should I invest in this? How do I make more money? How do I accumulate more prosperity? You can ask the nature spirits and sit out in nature, take a walk in nature, or use animal cards and get messages. This would be dealing with your emotions, spending more time with groups of your own gender, men's groups, women's groups, okay? So there are many ways to create abundance through nature. But let's do a little fun exercise here. And anybody can do this. I mean, they know, like, if you're planning to cut down a tree, the tree will know it. And so you can apologize, like, if you have to, because it's ruining the roots of your foundation of your house, or it's a fire danger, and promise to plant seeds that the tree has dropped so its generations can live somewhere else. Or you amend the land when you chop the tree down and put another plant in its place. And so it isn't really so much what you do, but maybe how you do it. And if you are cruel to animals, or you can apologize or make up for that, because we've all made mistakes, by being nice to another animal. You can pray over the food you eat and give thanks that the soul of that food is now in heaven and free and having a wonderful life somewhere else, and that food nourish your body. So once again, you don't have to be a vegetarian, and you don't have to be perfect, but you might want to think about what your relationship is to nature and to recycling. Like my yard, nothing is sprayed. It's not very manicured, and the nature spirits love me. And I've had past lives where I've been very connected with nature and Lemuria, and many of you may have too, or you're connected to dogs or cats or birds. Everyone has some type of connection, because that's a whole nother video, where your soul has been and what realm you're from. But okay, let's do this fun exercise. I just wanted to throw that out there, that we can all work with the nature spirits. It's not about being perfect, but they know what you're thinking. They see who you are. One day, I was out in the backyard and I asked the nature spirits to help me manifest. And they said, okay, but they wanted something. And I'm like, okay, what do you want? And they knew that I was using acupuncture needles. I don't do it on clients, but I was using them on myself. And I was putting them in this painted, really pretty teacup, because I thought, I don't want to throw it in the garbage because a bird at the dump could get hurt. And I also cut up my dental floss so birds at the dumps or animals or fish don't get wrapped up in dental floss. Now, whether that really makes a difference or not, I don't know, but I like to hope it does. But it's my intention. They see your intention to be kind and to respect nature and other creatures, to only kill for food. So anyway, so I'm in the backyard and I said, okay, what do you want? And they said, we know you've been keeping your acupuncture needles in that cup. We see your intention. We honor that. and we will assist you. Go ahead and dump the cup out and bring us some beer in the teacup. I was like, okay. So I went to the store and I got some beer and I made an offering. And so you can do this this is what we're going to do today. You can do this in your yard, a neighborhood park. You can go sit at a beach or a lake. That's a great place to do it. Sit with a tree. But even if you can't get out, weather permitting, you can talk to your house plants. You can sit and look out the window. And what you're going to do is we'll go through this together, okay? But we're going to ask for something. So you might want to know what you're asking for. More money? Money to pay a bill? So they're the bankers. Remember, the leprechauns really do know where the pot of gold is. And they can affect things. I've had more money show up in my account. Where'd that come from? People forgive loans. Like, oh, thank you. Clients show up. Things are easily fixed. Once I was praying for abundance and I got like 7 ironing boards. I'm like, okay, can you send some cash, please? So if you're worried about your mortgage or your rent or you want a new job, these are all things you can ask for. Ask, and then we're going to make an offering, okay? So the offering can be a shiny coin. They like sparkly stuff, or something sweet. If you put chocolate out, be careful that a dog doesn't get it because chocolate is toxic to some pets. But you can put it up somewhere or put a piece of candy or some honey or a sparkly stone. Something that you can ask them what they want, and you'll get that usually in thoughts or feelings. If you're like, I don't hear anything, y'all have thoughts. So they're going to talk to you in your thoughts and your feelings. You might have to sit there for a minute and go, hey, what do you want? And just go with that feeling. It isn't like they're going to say, Susan, put the money on the banister. And, they're not going to say that. But they could, but it might be that you have a dream that night or that you just start getting a feeling like, I feel like they want a cookie or a beer. They usually like beer. They like music, merrymaking, animals. If you want to, you can also bring cut flowers into your house. Whenever I cut a flower, I ask, would you please assist me? And they're happy to give their life for a purpose because they all reincarnate very quickly. They understand life and death differently than we do. But if you cut flowers and bring them in the house, ask those flowers and the water they're sitting in, because water is an element too, to heal your home, to bring prosperity. Okay? So that's another cool way you can do this. But all right, so let's go ahead. Think about what you want. First, you got to know, what do you want? If you don't know, maybe just prosperity, or I want to know you're there, or better income, or, And when you do this and you make an offering, then notice how they're interacting with you in the days and the weeks afterwards. Okay? So I did, I got this loan, and the company plopped all this money in my account. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were going to just put it all there and start charging me payments for all that when I don't really need all that. And so I prayed about it and I made an offering. And then I got in touch with this lady, and she got me in touch with this financial planner. And he's like, Sybil, call them up. He said, I read the fine print. They're not supposed to do that. Call them up and tell them, put the money back. You don't need all that now. and lower your payment. And I was like, thank you. See how this is actually, when you work with spirit and energy and elementals, that you can do better. It can seriously help you. Now, secret societies have known this about the power of ceremony and connecting with spirits to help you. And we're taught to think that, you should only go to church, or this is all just silly. Maybe you're crazy. Now you're talking to nature spirits, but they know it and they do it. Okay? I just put on some beautiful frankincense oil because my voice is starting to go. I do healing and emotional and physical, but it's really hard to heal a virus or a flu. So unless you catch it right away with energy medicine, you kind of got to just ride it out. So I'm riding out this throat issue. So I'm going to be more quiet now. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Now, this is what I want you to do when you go outside. We're just going to set the energy for this, okay? Or when you look out your window. So have an intention of what you want. And just relax and breathe. We kind of want to get quiet so we can connect in with them a little bit more. And when you're outside doing this, you might want to just take a few breaths and say hello. I always ask Archangel Michael to oversee anything I do. We can do this next week, manifesting with the goddesses and the wise ones. For this, I'm seeing Mother Mary, who actually worked very close with nature. She was a mother feeding her family and paying taxes. And I'm also seeing Isis. The Egyptians very much knew about crystals and nature spirits and connecting to animals. So I see those two deities coming in to oversee. And now let's say hello to your nature spirits, to a tree, to your park, your yard. And notice if you get a sense or a feeling or a thought, just send a hello out and see if you get a hello back. Or if it feels like something is curious. Imagine a little fairy peeking out, or a little spirit in the tree listening to you, because they hear you, they see you. And you may say, hello, dear friends, would you please assist me? I would like blah, 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 more money in my account, a new job, help paying a bill, and let's just be quiet and tune into whatever messages, feelings, or thoughts you're getting from the elementals you're connecting with, and the two goddesses assisting us, Mother Mary and Goddess Isis. And then we say, what is it that you would like? And notice if you get any thoughts or feelings about what it is. They'll communicate with you by sending you feelings or thoughts or visions in your head, or you may even hear something. That's fine. So what I'm picking up is a little piece of silver and a daisy. They want a daisy. And the daisy is a symbol for me of thoughts. They want us to think about them and to think about and consider the earth and think about and consider protecting the earth, because the earth is here. Whoever has a good relationship with earth and gardening or hunting or foraging has prosperity. Water is life. The green planet creates all the oxygen we breathe, and the oceans, the lakes and the oceans actually creates oxygen. It gives us life. So it feels like with me, they're wanting something metal, a piece of metal, because metal is an element that comes from the earth, that nourishes the earth, like silver. And I hear them saying, we are here, we are here, we are here. They want to connect with us. So then when you are out or you're sitting in the window or wherever you are, then you'll make your offering, go and if you get that they want something, you may want to go and get that and place that out for them. You can also, if you have a little rock or something shiny, just walking by a park, you can throw it by a tree and I offer you this. If you're trying to rent or buy a home, get a little rock, sit with it and ask it to help you, and then throw it on the property or the land and say, I own this, or see yourself living there, prospering. And then see yourself enjoying your connection, enjoying maybe I see somebody baking cookies or food, giving thanks for abundant feast, and knowing that they're working with you, and that they also want us to stand up and protect, talk about the environment and protect them, because they are under grave threat of being destroyed by humans who have no respect for earth or creatures or nature. So they want us to know that. And then we also, once you make your offering, then say thank you. And we'll call that a ceremony. Wasn't that cool? So what I want you to do is I want you to notice how they're connecting with you. You don't need to go back and did I do it right? So once you plant the seed, you don't start digging up. Is it growing? Is it growing? So we need to have faith that what we're connecting with is real. But you also may get continued guidance as you're working with Isis and Mother Mary and the nature spirits, continued guidance to help you find your new job or what is the next step. You see what I'm saying? So there may be dreams, there may be thoughts they send you. And remember to always think about and connect into gratitude, because gratitude brings more abundance. Okay? This was super fun. Does anybody have a question about what we did here before we hi Sybil from Montauk, New York. Love and light. Yes, this is spiritual community. So I do this every Saturday at 10, and we're focusing on prosperity because there is no lack. There's no scarcity. It isn't other people taking because we're here to learn to share, to give and share, and to receive. There is enough for everyone on this planet. There really is. They just don't want you to think that. Some dark forces think that, oh, we need to have a war, we need to get rid of these people, or and that is a lot.
Hello, sending love and light. Awesome, beautiful, LOL. Yeah, this is really fun. So next week, let's check back in. I spoke with angels along with you. I'll be doing it again. Yeah, you can do this every week. Let's check back in and see, how you're doing with whatever. And be careful of the voice of doubt coming in, going, that's silly, or how's that going to work? Because that's not the voice you want to listen to. And be careful too, not to share your most cherished manifestations with people who are going to roll their eyes or think, there she goes again. My family used to do that to me, and now they're all having financial issues and they call me for assistance. But just be careful when you have something that you're manifesting and creating, like more prosperity. Don't let everybody put their energy or their doubts in, like, what's she doing? That, all that. Just be careful about what you share with people, because you don't want them, because they have their own fears and doubts, and you're clearing out fear and doubt and lack and scarcity are just things that kind of block us. There's nothing there that's going to help you with any of those things, with creating what you're creating. But let's check back in next week. And also next week, I'll be out at 12 with my members, where I'll be answering questions and doing more healings. And so it's a fun little group. If you want to join that, that's click on join members. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week and hearing about how your manifesting is going. We have turkeys and deer, beautiful variety of birds come in the yard. Love seeing them. Yeah, turkey. Whenever you see a turkey, it's gratitude. Whenever you see a deer, remember to let go of fear and move ahead anyway. Birds, all types of birds are about spirit. They're winged creatures. Okay? Thank you so much. This was really cool. A little short this week because of my voice. And I had the angels speak to me several times throughout my life. Yeah. Well, keep asking. I always see turkeys here. Oh, right in front of the lawn. Wow. Yeah, animals will come around when they know you're safe. There was this shaman. He was a doctor. He wasn't a shaman yet. And he went to South America because he wanted to learn about spirituality from an indigenous tribe. And he was from South America. So he went down there with this tribe, and they walked out in the woods, and they said to him, he was a doctor, "You hear that?" He's like, "I don't hear anything." And they said, "Exactly. They know your heart is closed, so they don't trust you. That's why no animals are coming around you." So, we want to open our heart and be, present, recognize, notice if you're getting into fear or doubt, and connect with nature and spirits for creating prosperity. Okay? Thanks. This was really cool. You guys are awesome. And it's a little short this week, but we'll see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Thank you. And let me know about how your manifesting went. Okay? When you do your ceremony, unless you did it already, but you can do it again. Okay. Bye. Lots of love. We're in this together. Very cool. Thanks for joining.